Pakistan cricket at its best. 1 minute down, next minute up.
Sad Sadiq bringing you another exclusive interview for PakPassion. Honoured to be joined by a former West Indies all-rounder. He played 2 Test matches for the West Indies and 15 ODIs. His first-class record is amazing. 659 first-class wickets, over 5,600 first-class runs. So a genuine all-rounder. His coaching career, I mean, I could go on and on about how many teams he's coached and how well he has done. But just here's a little bit of information. He was former West Indies head coach, South Africa head coach. He's been the bowling coach for England. He's worked for Multan Sultans, Bangladesh also. And he was a former head coach at Yorkshire. And now he is going to be the head coach of Peshawar Zalmi at the upcoming Pakistan Super League. Great to be joined by Ottis Gibson. Ottis, hope you're doing well.
Yeah, I'm doing very well. Thanks, Saj.
Ottis, welcome back to the PSL. I think many people won't realise that you actually have had a stint at the PSL with Multan Sultans. Tell me about your previous experience with Multan and what you're looking forward to with Peshawar Zalmi.
Yeah, I did Multan. I think it was in the COVID year, about 2021. I think with Andy Flower, we lost in the finals. It was a fantastic experience. Obviously, I've worked with Andy Flower quite a few times. So, you know, he's obviously one of the best franchise coaches, one of the best coaches going around. So, you know, I had the opportunity to work with him, and that was fantastic. Like I said, we lost in the finals that year. You know, so I'm really excited to be coming back to the PSL again. I think obviously it's a fantastic tournament, so much talent. I remember the first time I went. When I was with Multan, I can remember the amount of guys, fast bowlers especially, obviously, you know, fast bowling is a passion of mine. The amount of guys bowling over 140 there was frightening. And we had a guy called Isanula. It was his first season, and he just come into the squad for the first time. He was very young. I think he was one of our youngsters. And he was very young, so engaging, wanted to learn, and he was rapid. He just wanted to bowl fast, you know. So I'm looking forward to the talent, you know, getting to see the talent again that is there in Pakistan, and hopefully we can have a really good tournament this year.
We'll come to some of the fast bowlers that you're going to be working with at Peshawar shortly, Ottis. But what was the sort of the you know, what inspired you to become head coach at Peshawar Zalmi? Obviously, they've scouted for a new head coach. What was the lure of becoming their head coach?
I think the PSL and Peshawar is a franchise known all over the world, you know, the PSL is a fantastic tournament. You know, there's so many tournaments around the world at the moment, but the PSL is always a fantastic tournament as well, you know, and like I said, to be able to go there and work with the amount of talent that there is, and not just the talent on the field, but off the field, you know, to get the opportunity to work with. I think Misbah-ul-Haq is in our coaching staff, and Azam Mahmood is in our coaching staff. Mohammed Akram, who is a very experienced guy, he's part of the setup there as well. So to be able to, you know, I'm constantly trying to find opportunities to learn as well as to coach, obviously, and to be able to work in an environment with those guys and try and learn from them. I'm looking forward already to picking Misbah's brain about playing spin. You know, he was one of the best players of spin as a batter. You know, so talking to him about that is going to be fantastic for myself as well.
How important is it to have those guys like Azam Mahmood, who's got a lot of experience with the PSL, Misbah, and Mohammed Akram, who's been with the Peshawar Zalmi franchise for many, many years?
Yeah, look, it's great. I think, you know, franchise cricket, I always think franchise cricket is about developing local talent, and often people will probably see that talent as just on the field, but I think the talent off the field in terms of coaching is also important. So developing local coaches, part of the thing that I really enjoy about coaching is mentoring young coaches as well. You know, so like I said, the opportunity to work with and to learn from and to help those guys in their own coaching journeys is an exciting prospect for me.
Now, your captain at Peshawar Zalmi is a very high-profile cricketer who is well known around the world. Now, how are you going to get the best out of him, Otis? That's the million-dollar question that all Peshawar Zalmi fans will be asking, because lately his form hasn't been great. He's been getting a lot of criticism. How are you going to get the best out of him?
Look, that's an interesting question. You know, I think one of the things I always ask young people, senior players, when I have the conversation with senior players is, you know, if I take you back to when you started the game, what was the driver? You know, what was the thing that got you going back then when you first started? It would not have been money, I don't believe. It was just fun, enjoyment, playing with your friends. Hopefully, we can get him doing that. You know, we can get Baba playing golf, playing cricket, and just enjoying being on the field with his mates and stuff like that. You know, and not put too much pressure on performing. We know he's a great performer. We know he's one of the best in the world at what he does. Just tapping into his own frame of mind and making sure that he understands we value him as a player and as a person, and go out and just express yourself. You know, I also believe that he's a keen golfer. So you know, maybe our best conversations will be walking a golf course somewhere in Pakistan and trying to get him to relax a little bit as well. There's so much pressure on him. There's so much eyeballs on him because obviously he's a superstar, and you know, even the superstars need to find a way to kick back and relax and enjoy themselves as well.
I know you're a keen student of the game, Otis, and you'll have been watching Babar batting recently, as you probably have done with a lot of the Peshawar Zalmi players. But what do you think has been missing from Babar's game? What's changed? What needs to improve?
Again, I don't look. I watch him, and I'm really looking forward to talking to him. I don't think there's anything that he needs to focus on specifically. What I do think though is that he perhaps, you know, and I hope he doesn't do this anyway. A lot of the pressure that people find themselves under is you know, the social media pressure, and you know, he's constantly being criticized on social media for not scoring runs, for strike rate, for all this sort of stuff. And if he listens to that and he walks onto the field with all of that on his chest, you know, obviously it's gonna affect him negatively. So you know, if there's one piece of advice I'd like to give him even now before I get there is you know, make sure you switch off that social media stuff. Don't listen too much to what's going on in the media. Focus on your practice, your preparation. Make sure you're getting your preparation spot on. And practice for the role that you're going to play. You know, if you're opening batter, you practice with new balls around opening the batting and getting the ball away and building partnerships with it, because it's not just him alone. It's him, and he's always in the middle with a partner. You know, understanding those things and trying to deliver. You look at the scoreboard, and the scoreboard always tells the cricketer what needs to happen next. You know. You look at the scoreboard and we need to chase 180 or 190. He knows what rate he needs to go at. He doesn't need me to come to Pakistan and tell him how to bat. You know, he knows how to bat. He needs to get rid of the other things that could be weighing him down and just focus on the way that he started batting when he was a young boy making his debut. If we can get him making his first class debut again, and having those feelings of when he made his debut again, I'm sure there's still an outstanding cricketer in there. And my job and the job of Misbah and all the support staff is to support him in getting that side of his game out again.
I notice us Pakistanis, we love our fast bowlers. You mentioned about the array of talent in Pakistan Super League. One young pacer that we're very excited about is the under-19 pacer Ali Raza. Who last year at the Pakistan Super League had a wonderful tournament. Any updates on his fitness, and how much are you looking forward to working with him?
Look, as far as I'm aware, he should be doing all right. He should be ready for the tournament. You know, Azza has the responsibility, of course, with working with the bowlers and getting them ready, and I'll work closely with Azza on that. You know, but we're looking forward to seeing him. You know, he had a good tournament last year. A lot more people will know about him this year, you know, so again, there will be a lot more eyeballs on him this year, and our job is to try and make sure that he doesn't again, get too far ahead of himself and just focus on, one game at a time, make sure his preparation is spot on. I think between myself and Raza and Mo as well, we former fast bowlers, we have the opportunity to pass on so much information to him around not just bowling fast, but the way you eat, the way you try and get enough rest and look after your body, because your body is your vehicle as a fast bowler. And nowadays, with the amount of cricket that people are playing, fast bowlers tend to break down quite quickly. You only have to look at somebody like Mark Wood from England. He can't stay on the park, and we want him to be fresh and bowl fast for every game. So we'll manage him in a way that gives him the best chance to perform for us in every game like he did last year.
You must be excited about the other talent as well that you're going to have available at the tournament. Otis, you've got the likes of Aamer Jamal, Shahnawaz Dahani, and the young spinner Sufiyan Muqeem that many felt should have been part of the Pakistan T20 World Cup. So there's an array of bowling talent at your disposal, isn't there?
Yeah, for sure. I think Mo did a great job in the auction, trying to get a blend of. I always think good young talent, but also some experience. So the likes of James Vince coming in to add some experience to our group. Iftikhar coming in to add some experience to the group as well. It gives us a real a variety of ways that we can approach the tournament this year. We got those experienced guys. We got some young, exciting youngsters. And ultimately, again, like I said, our jobs as support staff is to try and let them know early, what their roles are. Again, practice their roles so that everybody is very clear. This is the time in the game where I'm going to be operating. And winning isn't just one person. Winning is always in this format a team effort. One guy can have a day out and change the game, of course, but it takes more than one strong performance to win. So we try not to rely on any one person.
Now, the Zalmi fans are very passionate. Winning is the goal for them every tournament. Last few tournaments, Peshawar Zalmi, you're probably aware of this, Otis, haven't done that well. Yeah. Has Javed Afridi been on the phone to you and said, Otis, we've got to win it this year?
No, I haven't heard him yet. I've had a lot of conversations with Mo, Mohammed Akram, and really good conversations as well. We've got some plans around when we get together in Pakistan, how we're going to approach that first preparation week of the tournament before the tournament actually finally starts. And then when the tournament starts, like I said, I think it is finding ways to keep guys fresh, keep guys engaged. I always think in these tournaments, you have to create a real good culture around the team early on, a healthy team environment. There's always so many new players coming in every year. So we have to try and find a way to create a nice vibe around the team early on and get the guys firing, get guys really relaxed and enjoying themselves so that their best cricket can come out on the field.
For a coach, though, like yourself, Otis, who's coached all around the world, what's the challenges of coaching in a franchise league and bringing together, as you say, all these players from all around the world, different nationalities, different characters, different strengths and weaknesses, many of them who will have not met each other before?
Yeah, look, again, the interesting thing now is that a lot of people are playing, because there's so many tournaments. A lot of people there's a lot of cross contamination, if you like. A lot of people playing against each other and with each other in these tournaments. Even in Pakistan, where guys are moving from team to team, going around different teams, and there's a lot of good relationships going on there already, and our jobs as support staff is to try and build on those relationships. And we would have had relationships. I've worked with James Vince before. I've worked with some of the guys before. I worked with Shahnawaz Dahani before. Like I said, so I've worked with some of the guys before, and trying to create a feeling, amongst the group that yes, we got 5 weeks together, 6 weeks together to do something really special. Hopefully everybody buy into that. Zalmi hasn't won now for a number of years, and why not us, and why not this year? So that's the attitude that I'm going to be bringing to it, and hopefully all the players, especially the overseas players, do the same thing, and then we can have a really good 6 weeks together. At the end of that 6 weeks, the way franchise cricket work, everybody's going to go off and do their own thing. If after that 6 weeks we've done enough to get to the finals or win the tournament, fantastic. That's a memory that you'll have forever until next year, and then we hopefully can do it all over again.
You mentioned Shahnawaz Dahani. You must have worked with him at Multan. He's a bit different, isn't he? Interesting character, Ottis.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, he's magic to work with, and I really enjoyed the time I spent with him there. He obviously had a really good year the year before. He got into the Pakistan setup. He's sort of like not in the Pakistan setup anymore, but obviously there's still a fantastic fast bowler in him. And again, the likes of myself, or the likes of Raza, we have to find ways to try and get the best Shahnawaz Dahani back on the park for Zalmi, and hopefully he can win matches for us like he was doing for Multan 3 or 4 years ago.
Fixtures haven't been announced yet, Ottis, but I think Javed, the 3D, mentioned about the possibility of some matches actually being in Peshawar. That'll be a massive boost for the Zalmi team to play some of their matches in Peshawar if it happens, something that hasn't happened before.
Yeah, for sure. Look, and I think I remember when I was there. Obviously, it was COVID, so everything was quite condensed. We only played at 1 or 2 venues, I think. But as things have changed now, if we get the opportunity to play, every team wants to have a home ground that is their own, that you can really build a fortress at. And if we get the opportunity to play a couple of games in Peshawar, I'm sure the Peshawar fans that have never seen the team play there before will come out in the numbers, and we can really, you feel the support of Zalmi fans anywhere, but to feel that support in Peshawar will be massive. So if that happens, then that's something to look forward to for sure.
And going back to Pakistan, Ottis, a country that you've been to obviously before, what are you looking forward to about visiting Pakistan again?
Food.
I knew you were going to say that.
Yes, food, fantastic food. I remember the food. And like I said, so much talent there. It's a wonderful place. I've been there. I was in my first time in Pakistan was in the '96 World Cup with West Indies. West Indies played South Africa. I think it was in the quarterfinal. Brian got a brilliant 100. Brian Lara got a brilliant 100. I was on that squad. And that was my first introduction to Pakistan many years ago, So I've been there with Bangladesh a couple of years ago, also in COVID, and then I've been back with Multan, like you said. So I'm looking forward to coming out in the next couple of weeks and really getting stuck into the culture over there and everything that is so fantastic about Pakistan. I really enjoy the place.
And finally, Ottis, what's the target? I mean, everybody says, yeah, we're in it to win it. I know I just recently interviewed other coaches, and they said, Jason Gillespie said we're a new team, but we're not just there to make up the numbers. It's a tough, challenging tournament, isn't it? What are your targets?
Well, look, I mean, everybody wants to win the tournament. That's when you start the race. That's where you want to end up. You want to end up in first place. If you go deeper into that, you look at the last time that we've won it. We haven't won it for a number of years. So the first target obviously is to get to the playoffs. Once you get to the playoffs, then anything is possible after that. So our first goal is to get to the playoffs, play really good cricket, continue to entertain our fans, play an entertaining brand of cricket as well. Entertain our fans that will always come out and support us. Get to the playoffs and then see where we go from there. Once we get to the playoffs, anything is possible after that.
Ottis, really appreciate your time. Thank you very much. And I wish you all the best in Pakistan. Have a safe and great trip out there. And best of luck to Peshawar and all you guys for the tournament.
No problem. Thank you very much.